I made my stepson do chores, and he chose to move out instead. So, my boyfriend Brian and I have been together for 6 years. He has this 13-year-old son, Kevin, who's been living with us for about a year and a half. Kevin's mom, Bree, has struggled with drug addiction for years, so Brian basically raised him alone until I came into the picture. When Kevin first moved in with us permanently, it was like dealing with a kid who'd never had any rules or structure in his life. Bree never made him go to school regularly, never gave him chores, and basically let him do whatever he wanted. He'd stay up all night gaming and sleep through school the next day. I have 2 kids of my own, Lily and Corey, and they've always had basic responsibilities around the house. Nothing crazy, just normal stuff like keeping their rooms clean, doing dishes, taking out trash, and cleaning up any messes they make, plus homework, obviously. When Kevin moved in, I made it clear that everyone in the house follows the same rules. He'd have a bedtime, limited screen time, and yes, he'd have to help with chores just like everyone else. At first, Brian was totally on board with this because he could see how much Kevin needed structure, but Kevin absolutely lost his mind over it. He'd scream that I was ruining his life and that I was the biggest witch in the world. He kept telling Brian that his real mom never made him do chores, so why should he have to listen to me? He'd throw these massive tantrums whenever I asked him to load the dishwasher or take out the garbage. The worst part was when he started giving Brian ultimatums. He'd literally tell him, "It's either her or me, Dad, pick one." Brian would try to explain that doing chores is just part of being in a family, but Kevin wasn't having it. Things got really bad when Kevin started getting violent with my 8-year-old son, Corey. I told Brian that Kevin needed counseling, but both he and Bree refused to get him help for some reason. For a year and a half, this went on. Kevin constantly complaining about having to do basic life skills, calling me names, and making everyone miserable because he had to wash dishes and keep his room clean. Meanwhile, his grades improved, he was finally going to school every day, and he was actually sleeping at normal hours. Last month, Kevin went to visit his mom for the weekend. Bree's been clean and sober for over a year now, has a job, and got her own place about 4 hours away. I was actually really proud of how far she'd come, but then Sunday night rolls around, and Kevin calls Brian instead of coming home. He tells his dad he's not coming back, ever. When Brian asks why, Kevin goes on this whole rant about how I'm a controlling witch who ruined their family, and how he's always hated me but just pretended to like me to keep Brian happy. He said he'd rather live with his mom and have no rules than stay with us and do chores. Brian tried reasoning with him, explaining how much better he was doing in school and how important structure is, but Kevin had made up his mind. So basically, my 13-year-old stepson chose to leave our house permanently rather than load a dishwasher twice a week. He picked a life with no responsibilities over learning basic life skills that every teenager should know. Brian's devastated, and I keep wondering if I should have just let Kevin get away with doing nothing to keep him here.